is like turning up to a knife fight with a bazooka. How much of a priority is it for you to learn a language? Really? And I'm not asking because I think it's not a priority for you. I'm asking because I think it is a priority for you. If you clicked on this video, if you are on this channel already, then it's probably somewhat, at least somewhat, of a priority for you to learn a language. And it is for me too, but the reason I'm doing this video is that recently I've changed my position, I guess, on how I think this should work. Meaning that I've decided that some things in my life that are not language learning need to go. And that's what I want to talk about. This video was inspired by a YouTuber I saw who did a video last year, very close to this time last year, saying that there are 94 days left in the year and I'm going to exercise for every single one of them. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested. And I thought, what an awesome idea. She didn't care what kind of exercise or, she didn't worry about the little tiny data points that people are normally worried about. She just said, there are 94 days left in the year. I'm going to exercise for every single one of them. No excuses, right? And I thought, imagine if I did that for my priorities, which is language learning. Now, recently, it's slipped for me a little bit, language learning, that is. There was the Arabic in a month experiment. That obviously wasn't great for my current target language, which is French. It did teach me some stuff that I might be able to use in the future, etc. But for my current target language, that was just a month that I had an excuse not to do French. And to be honest, my French wasn't going at all really before that. So it's probably almost 2 months, if you disregard the last few days, since I've been learning French. Now, does that look like a priority of mine to you? If you look at someone who hasn't studied French for 2 months, does it look like it's a priority? No, it's not. And it doesn't. And the reason that I talk about this is I get people coming to me all the time in real life and online saying, how do I do it? How do I learn a language like you did with Swedish? And the answer is, make it a priority. The answer is not about, which little app did you use? Which book did you read? Which blah, blah, blah. The answer is, make it a priority. And do that with time. As in, don't say, I'm going to, have a conversation every week by the end of this year or something. Although I have said that in a video in the past, you can do that as well, but mainly make it about time. So at the time of filming, there are 94 days left in this year. I think there were 98 when I decided that I was going to do this. There were 98 days left in the year. And I went, right, 250 hours of French before the end of the year. That's what I'm going to do. It's just over 2.5 hours a day. Now, at this point, some people are thinking, I don't have 2.5 hours a day. Okay, maybe you don't have 2.5 hours a day legitimately, but you probably do if you get rid of some other things that are currently taking priority over your German, your Spanish, your Arabic, whatever you're learning. I have had to sit down and reevaluate what is worth my while, what is worth my time to me. There's certain things that are non-negotiable. I have a job, I have a family, and by a family I mean a kid as well. Some things are non-negotiable, okay? You can't just say, well, I'm not gonna do those things because I'm going to study my target language. No, but so many things in our lives are. So many things. Here's an example of mine. I have recently decided that at least until the end of this year, or at least I'm going to significantly cut back on reading in English. Okay, now reading's one of those things that it makes you feel smart, it makes you feel accomplished. People are like, oh wow, you read a lot, that must mean something about you, I don't know what it is. But the truth is, I speak English so freaking well that reading in English is nothing. It's just entertainment. I might as well watch a movie. But no one values watching movies as like a thing unless you're doing it in a target language without subtitles. But reading somehow has this status, and I must admit I have fallen for that status. It was last year I said I want to read 50 books this year, and I'm on target for that. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm going to give that up because reading a book takes a while. I read fast, but reading a novel, it still takes like 4 hours. That can go, right? I don't need that. Even a novel a week, 4 hours a week, I don't need that time if it is a priority of mine to learn French or to learn Swedish. Another priority of mine lately has been this channel. Obviously, I've got to write these videos, I've got to film them, I've got to edit them, I've got to upload them, reply to comments, all that stuff. It all takes time. But is this channel worth anything to anyone if I don't prioritize language learning? I would say no. It's no good sitting around talking about language learning and never actually learning any languages. I don't want this channel to have 50,000 subscribers and the one person who runs it to be someone who doesn't learn a language properly, like someone who just sort of sits around and pretends to learn languages. I don't want that. I would rather have the less than 600 of you that I have and say, guys, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been smashing French. I've been really getting into Swedish. I've been learning a new language. Whatever it is I'm doing, I would rather do that and just live with having a small channel. That is my priority at the moment. Now, I don't think that I have to cancel the channel or anything like that. I think that I can still upload once a week with something like a lower production value like this, where I'm just talking off the cuff and it's all a bit rambly. I think I can do that. But I can't make it my life. So as to the question of how I'm going to smash French before the end of the year, before 2020, how is kind of the wrong question, right? I'm going to do 2.5 hours a day. And if your next question is, yeah, but how? But what? But what exactly? What little tiny thing? It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do stuff. What sort of stuff? Super cool stuff that you wouldn't understand, right? No, I'm going to sit and do the things that I know I need to do. The things that you don't like to do. The things that are uncomfortable, that are sort of just a bit, as the Swedes would say, jobbigt, a bit like tiresome, a bit harrowing. I'm going to do that kind of stuff. The thing is, they get a lot less harrowing if you commit to, say, your 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day or whatever you want to commit to. They get less harrowing because if you're actually doing that and you're doing it every day, you see the benefit of it like that. You see it so quickly and you're like, whoa, imagine 95 days of this crap. It is going to be incredible. And so you start to feel the benefit and suddenly it doesn't feel so workish anymore. It doesn't feel so tiresome because you know that it's getting you somewhere. There is other stuff that you can do that you know isn't getting you anywhere, but you just kind of like doing it. But at the same time, it gives you that icky feeling of not really having done anything that is actually worthwhile. It's a bit like if you've read that Waitbutwhy article, Procrastination, Why Procrastinators Procrastinate. It's a little bit like that. You start to feel good about what you're doing when you know that it has value. And that's what I've been doing for the last 4 days. By the way, this isn't all just talk. The last 4 days, I have been absolutely hammering French. I've also been reviewing the app Lingvist, which there may be a video already on the channel for that, but I've been hammering French with italki and with Lingvist, so it's been awesome. And I plan to just keep doing that, basically, for the rest of the year, and starting to do some reading and some other things. But the important bit is not what I'm doing. It's the 2.5 hours a day. That is huge. That is a massive thing to do. It almost doesn't matter what you actually do. Like, obviously you can't just do stuff that's a complete waste of time, but if you do stuff that's not 100% efficient, but someone else does 45 minutes a day of something that is 100% efficient. Here's the thing about the 45 minutes a day thing. A lot of people say, oh, it's better to do half an hour a day or 45 minutes a day than to do 2 hours every week. And it's true, that is better. But what's better again is 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day, right? And people might say, well, you're not going to do that. Well, I am. I've done it before. I will do it again. And I know other people who can do it as well. What I love about that is that the nitty-gritty of what you actually do, if you're doing, what would that be, 4 to 5 times as much as someone else, the nitty-gritty of what you're doing doesn't matter. It's like turning up to a knife fight with a bazooka. It's like, oh, I've got my 45 minutes a day of fancy 100% efficiency language learning. I'm just like, righto. So here's what I want you to do the second you've finished watching this video. Make a promise to yourself and to me. Work out how much time you want to spend before the end of the year. At the time you're watching, there should be about 88 days left in the year. Work out how much time you're going to spend before 2020 learning your language. If it's 200 hours, then that's a little over 2 hours a day. If it's 100 hours, then it's only a little over 1 hour a day. But don't just do that. Work that out. Work out what that means in terms of hours per day, down to like the minute. Like, is it an hour and 12 minutes kind of thing? And work out what you're going to have to let go in order to do that. Because chances are there's something, and that's what this video is about. There's something that you can let go that you don't actually really care about, but you just do out of habit. And if you drop that, you will give yourself time to learn your language. And if you commit 100 hours, 150 hours, 200 hours, 250 hours to learning your language before the end of the year, you will see massive changes in your language. You will see huge results. Myself, I am hoping to be doing more regular videos in French. I've only ever done one, but I want to get to the point that I can do them without so much difficulty, if you get what I'm saying. That's something I want to see. I want to see some other things as well. Write down your goals. Write it in the comments for me. I will keep you accountable to it. Ask how I'm going with it after a little while. Write yourself an email. Keep a journal if that's your preferred method. Whatever you want to do. I don't mean keep a journal like every day, but it's good if you do have some way of measuring how much you're actually doing each day. I'm not really doing that really carefully. I just know that I'm doing a lot, and I'm going to keep doing a lot. That's what I want you to do. I think you will see, well, I know actually that you will see huge results. I hope you found this video helpful. Give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. If you have found it helpful, and stick around for more language learning content, but don't now, not now. Now, I want you to commit to learning your language. I want you to write it down. As I said, do that. I'll see you next time.